I'm starting a little early. Just going to get a couple things going here. You guys can watch in the background if you're joining. Looks pretty good. Well, it is 9. What can I bring up in the meantime? Well, earlier I was questioning myself on certain variants, Spider-Man specifically. Um, so even though I have no viewers, I'm just going to start anyway. I really lament there was this guy named Dan, Canadian poster collector. And the great thing about Canadian collectors, specifically him, I think he was a secret international obsessive like I am. And because it's an English speaking country, but yet not the United States, they got all the English language international posters up there. Which God help us all. I wish we had more access to. But regardless, he had this authentication database online that was absolutely nuts. And he had exactly like the shit that I'm talking about right now. But he took his site offline and he's squirreled his trove of information. I mean, it's information. It's just like factual. It's like sizes. It's high res, super close up photography. I mean, it was great information. And I really wish I had thought about this more ahead of time. Gosh darn it. Because I have styles for Spider Verse that I could have pulled for tonight, which would have been cool. But we're going back to 2002. And this poster, God, I mean, he was a collector and a dealer. I think he was more collector than dealer. I think he does exactly what I do. And I collect enough to sell immediately or later to fund my own collection. I think that's what he did. And he just got tired of it. I mean, there's so many things to keep up on. Jesus, just the technology, the social networking. I didn't even know about MEGACON until like 2 weeks ago by complete freak chance. So, sorry. Let me go spot over here. I don't know how to embed this shit into my OBS software yet. So there's like plugins and all kinds of configuration. It looked insane. Like I'm going to have a master's degree in it. By the way, off to the right are the titles. If you win a screenshot digital 4K code, these are the ones that are available. These are the ones that I'm saving for something super cool. I mean, obviously that Lord of the Rings 4K is awesome. I don't even care what it's worth. I haven't looked this shit up on eBay. But somebody's going to have fun winning it eventually for some super deep cut. Man, the screenshots I could have pulled tonight, blow your mind. Okay, OBS chat's going in case anybody wants to chime in. Back to Dan, Spider-Man. So as a collector, he had, and with the United States right here, and with so many contacts, he was in a position that I just envy, where he could get international, Canadian, English language, international one sheets, and the US versions at the same time. So he knew size differences. He could do comparisons. Oh, good Lord. I did a 20th anniversary re-release Matrix double-sided one sheet compared to the original from '99, and it was actually pretty cool. I have that basic info up on my Instagram post. If you're interested, well, those who are interested will find out that information later. Probably on one of the most epic content pieces I'll ever produce is just on the Matrix trilogy. One sheets. Well, not even one sheets, just posters. I got them from Australia. I've got them from Canada. I've got them from the UK. I've got limited edition sets from the UK. Only printed 500 of the 3. You'll love those. Another triptych. That's why I named the channel what I did. These triptychs, man. I just threes. I love threes. Sorry, I could veer off all day. Back to Spider-Man. Gosh darn it. So you can see right here. Later I'll try to zip my iPhone as a webcam over and maybe get some close-up shots. I hate adjusting this kind of stuff after the fact, but I'm going to try and get a little more... Whoa! A little more Spidey in there. At a good angle. Jesus. Sorry. That looks pretty good, I think. All right. So anyway, I can go either way. This way's good. That Spider-Man is awesome. Obviously, this, man, I don't remember dates, but this was like a month or two. I can't remember now if this poster was released right before or right after 9/11, because it would make sense both ways. If it had been printed for release after 9/11, but I think no. I remember these. They sent these out. These were teasers, obviously coming soon. Mine is May 3rd. So they sent these out to theaters. This was the very first style, and then 9/11 happened, and then I don't have a copy of the actual letter they sent theater owners, but it was like, hey, we're not putting these out there. Sorry, a little emotional, but 9/11. Uh, so that one got pulled, but enough got into collectors' hands. The advantages here were that they had him. If you watched the other stack pull last night, uh, there were at least Spanish, French, and U.S. And then I don't know if alternate U.S. Canadian, probably. Again, Dan, God, just give me access to the database, man, please. Hey, Jules, what's up? And Ben on Jules' account. Can I call you Jules? Um, so obviously, this one's specific in the United States because it has the date. International styles, again, generally don't have a specific date because release dates vary from country to country, month to month, even year to year. The other night, I pulled a Tron Legacy poster. Uh, it was 2010 here, February 2011 in France. So, but those are rare. The only rare exception to that, although they didn't print a poster specifically for the event, if anybody remembers the Matrix Revolutions premiere. I mean, gosh darn it, that was a cool idea. They synced the premiere to every time zone in the world. So, Denver, shit, that would have been before. Yeah, I have ticket stubs going back to 2012 for another content piece. Basically, you look here, 2012, just ones I saved, 32 films I saw. That includes the same film twice, 3 times. 2013, 36. Then in 2014, I saw 45, then 39, 47, 54. We're getting into Marvel territory here, big time, people. And then, bam, damn, 2019, 35, 2020, 5. We all know why. 2021 back up to 13. But even since 2, 7, 8, 1. Unfortunately, digital tickets. I don't know. You can't get ticket stubs for those anymore. So, but yeah, man. Forget where I was going with that, but let's swing back to Spider-Man. Jeez, sorry, I'm all over the place tonight. Had a lot going into tonight's show. Just a lot of lessons learned from last week. So trying to keep it kind of upbeat, moving, that kind of stuff. Back to Spidey. So just off of this, with coming soon, the dated variations, coming 2002, coming soon. I mean, there had to have been like 12 or 14 different variations of this style poster in the 4 different countries. Anyway, so you look down here. See, even on here, the artwork is cropped. I was saying in my live stream stack pull that a good original, guaranteed original, will have the full windshield of this cab right here. It's tough to see. I don't know. I'm streaming 1080. Oh, shoot. My wind is completely in the way. Sorry, people. Live and learn. I can bring up the titles later. So right down here, if you can see the full windshield in your poster, you're probably sitting on an original. But that being said, we're going to go into one other variation tonight, and I'll be interested to see myself. We'll talk about Spider-Man more later. I'm sorry for getting off on this tangent, or maybe we should just continue on. I mean, let's be honest. Big focus this week was WonderCon. You know who you are. Getting stuff signed. So helped a couple people out. I got some stuff to some other people, which you know who you are. But this whole convention, gosh, busy week. One of the big things is, and I already hate the marriage of the words Dune and Doomsday into Doomsday, because honestly, I will not be watching Avengers for at least 3 weeks. And even then, I probably won't even see it in IMAX. It's just too much money. I don't have $40 to spend on a movie, just on a movie and snacks. And that's sneaking in my own Coke. But if you know anything about the spoilers that have been leaked, supposedly, gotta remember to look at the camera. Spidey from Tobey Maguire's universe. Well, let's just say something happens, and it's one of the first scenes in the film. On top of that, the new Spider-Man trailer dropped. I would actually play it, but I mean, Nerdrotic can't even play it without like distorting it and flipping it and then screwing with the audio. I don't get it. I mean, they put their trailers on the internet, right? So people can watch them. Why would they restrict somebody advertising their movie? Oh, I get it. It's probably because he's disparaged the film industry a lot lately. For good reason. Starfleet Academy. So the new trailer, it's actually pretty good. I mean, it broke sick records streaming. I love the internet. Let's look it up. Spider-Man new movie streaming records. Record us. 718.6 million views in its first 24 freaking hours. I mean, it doubled the previous. So yeah, people are stoked for Spider-Man. That's why we're talking about Spider-Man tonight. So I guess with that, so far, Jules, you're the only one in chat. So right now, you're theoretically the only one that can pick an unrolled tube number. I'll have to start keeping track of these. Last week we did number 33, and you can see it right now for those who thought the poll last week was fixed, because I had a screenshot for Samurai, Shogun, Assassin, and I pulled those Lord of the Rings posters. That was totally the universe. Now you'll have the chat to prove it. I guess, Julie, if you want to go ahead and put in your vote now, just go ahead and do it. And if nobody else joins, I'll pick yours. Just Spider-Man Unrolled. I guess let's just, before we get into knee deep into Spider-Man, because I got a bunch of cool variants to show you. I really wanted to pull this one. It was a Comic-Con print only. It's Doc Ock. I'll pull it up here. I hate doing it here because it's here. I want to show you the poster. I have multiples. I don't know why I couldn't find it. I looked for like an hour straight. Um, all right, this bad boy. Um, this was only printed for Comic Con back in 2004, I assume. I don't remember the dates. Comic Con. Jesus, I can't type today. I hate my keyboard. This Apple keyboard sucks. Oh my, good lord. Sorry, people. Whatever. It was either 2004 or 2003, right? Regardless, this poster came out just for Comic Con, and for decades, there were supposedly, per Dan, again, Dan, um, he did a deep dive on these and discovered two variants. One was supposedly the first pressing, which was more pink than red, and then a more pinkish or a more reddish version. I mean, you could really tell like down here. And side by side, yes, there was a definitive difference in the color between the two. You could tell. I mean, it was obvious. But it was only recently that I heard from another pretty reliable source um, that they were actually just came off not the same run per se. I don't know if he used those words, but they were all essentially the same printing. There was no major difference between the two. But I have all of mine are the redder versions, which was thought to be the second printing. But I mean, let's be honest, dude. These are 22 years old now. I mean, every now and again, a few pop up on eBay or here and there. If you know what you're looking for, you really have to nail the seller down on what you're getting, what size you're getting, how they sourced it. And if they can't answer any one of those questions, just move on. It's not worth it. You're going to pay for it in the end. Rely. I got to write a 10 commandments for poster collecting. One of them, not number one by any means, know your source, man. Um, Man, if I I don't really want to do this, but along with knowing your source, especially on eBay, man, if they cannot provide a high res image, move on. If you see a little 240 by 480 image on there and it's blurry to begin with, forget it. It's not worth it. Nope, by the way, I have never been to Comic Con ever. The one time I came close, I was out in California for a job for First Data. And I was out there for either 6 weeks or 3 months. I don't remember. But the last like 2 days, I had tickets to go. And it was just like I was going to have to get a hotel down there and then change tickets and fly to San Diego. yeah, it would have been a nightmare. So I just went back to Denver and skipped it. I've never been to one of these major conventions. MegaCon sounds ridiculous. Apparently, I thought it was in like the tens of thousands. I guess I was naive. 250,000 people over 4 days, I guess it is. I mean, just all the autograph hunters. That's a whole subculture that, I mean, 20 years ago, an autograph, and this goes along with, the MegaCon convention talk. So, uh, back then, man, autographs were difficult at best to authenticate. So why even bother? Um, Never got into it, but man, it is alive and thriving, and these people get the craziest shit signed. Um, I mean, no, it's not a good or a bad thing. That's a total nerd thing. It's an awesome thing. Um, but frick, I saw some pictures of that. Like, there's queues, and you got to get tickets on top of your convention tickets to get your autographs. And then if you want selfies on top of the autographs, it's more money. I mean, I get it, especially for the authentication piece, right? But good Lord, man. Everyone is nickel and diming us to death already. And I get that Ian McKellen's on his way out. And man, he deserves his cut. But $600 a goddamn autograph. And that's just like your basic. I just wanted to entertain logic and went down um, to see what this would cost me. Do I not have it in my shortcuts? I don't. Whoops. I forget these automatically take sometimes. This I will never, ever sell until I find a second set. And this is my buy too, people. $170. Half the time, buys are just vigilance, man. Extreme dedication, vigilance, and having a list that you check every week. $170. These are French Grands 47 by 63s. All right, these are rolled. People with cons would be shitting their pants over these. I mean, I know a couple people that already have, but okay, so just to entertain the possibility of getting him to sign this, because it's probably going to be the last time, maybe ever, to get his signature. Because of the size, the only equivalent was a bus stop poster, which are generally 40 by 60. 47 by 63, who's going to argue? But the catch is you would have to drop it off in London personally. Oh, and that's not even the kicker. Because of the size, the price goes up from $600 to $800.99. So $900 on top of a trip to London, taking a minimum 55-inch tube with you internationally on an airline. Yay! Who in their right mind would want to get that done? Or you'd have to ship it early and late. And then apparently, uh, if you miss Legolas, It sucks. It happened to a buddy of mine just today or yesterday. I don't remember which. The rest of these, Arwen is like, she's insane to get. Um, why am I blanking her name? I'm terrible. I'm absolutely terrible. I know it's going to hit me before I even get there. Is it even? Come on. I'm going to hate myself. Good Lord. I hate IMDb. Swear to Christ. Liv. I kept wanting to say Elizabeth. Liv Tyler. Anyway. She's supposedly hard to get a signature for. She's getting older. These guys are all in, man. I love these guys. Every interview, anything I see with these guys, they're fucking hilarious. Especially the Wigs bit. I will never get sick of that. And then, getting these guys to sign, I mean, they got to have a special, what do they call them? Whatever the Nazgul use, the swords. They'd have to have a pen, right? And there's 9 of them. I mean, all the others combined is only 13, 12, whatever. Anyway. So, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin on all the costs involved for all the conventions you'd have to hunt these guys down. Let's be honest. I'll be happy with these in my gallery one day. All 10 hanging side by side. Man, that's going to be badass. That's like a centerpiece collection right there. And that's in tube number 77, by the way. So nobody can pick 77 because I already know what's in them. It's just the tallest, heaviest tube I have, and it's not going anywhere. I want to talk about this because this infuriates me. They pull this bullshit, and it's just marketing. The only place we'll ever see a full set of these character posters, we won't. You'll never, ever 9 posters, even Matrix Reloaded after the hype of the Matrix 99. It's in the Library of Congress. Everyone knows the Matrix. Coming off on that hype, they only did a set of 7 teasers for theaters. And those were awesome when they were displayed right at the Continental in Denver. Going into the main auditorium, it splits off on a curve, not a half dome, but anyway. And they had at least 7 poster slots. So when you went in, you got to see all 7 displayed right next to each other. They were awesome. But you're never, ever going to see 9 character posters printed. You'll be lucky if they print. Paul, let's see. Who's this dude again? Oh, I forget the name of this dude. He's like a water merchant, I think. He would have to, okay. Let me step back. The only way these are ever going to be printed are for bus stops. Period. For the first Dune, I think they printed Paul, Jessica, Duncan, Leto, Shawnee, Stilgar, and Gurney. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they only did 7 bus stops, maybe 6. I don't remember. I mean, when they pop up on eBay, it's never sold. They're never sold as a set, complete set. Um, so then you have to collect them individually, and dealers always want like starting $69 each. You're talking about like $1,000 for the entire set, and if you're lucky to collect all the different styles and in good condition, half of them are used already, so they have pre-punched holes in the corners, in the middle, top and bottom for the bus stop stands. It's just a shame. Just a damn shame. These would be beautiful in a home theater. Part 2, all we got were these two as advances. We didn't get anything else as far as a character teaser. Then we get this one and the final. Boring. I mean, they shot all this promotional art, and it's all just digital marketing bullshit. Look at the new character posters that we'll never release. So when I saw these, I had to put them up on my IG, obviously. Um, if we're lucky, we'll get 2 of these. Anything with her on the cover is awesome. The other night, I was talking about, it might have been a little confusing to some. I was going through and I came across my Lost in Translations. And then I tried to segue probably too quickly into modern day equivalent of that particular set of character advances because those were double-sided, which were rare. They were mostly single-sided. Um, it went on to become a very cult film. I mean, yeah, Lost in Translation. I've got the original Japanese B2s, which means I've technically got country of origin all 4 because I think it was a co-American Japanese production. I'd have to look it up. I'm not going to go there. But she was in The Menu, which that film came out during COVID, not Lost in Translation, but The Menu. And I just got a second set of those 2 character advances, her and Fine on the other one in his chef's outfit. Badass couple of posters, man. My first set was in really rough shape, but since they're so rare, I mean, you're never going to argue, but you're always looking for the best condition you can buy. Always. And even if you buy one, it's not guaranteed until you see it on your wall. So, that was my little Dune rant. That's obviously in the news because the posters dropped at the same, I think it was the same day or the day after, or the day before. The trailer released, and man, I saw Hyatt. I don't know how you actually pronounce his name in the books. Haight. It's Duncan Idaho's Gola. And if you read the books, man, fuck. Him coming back for the third one, the conclusion. It's not the conclusion, man. They've got to make all 6. Denis, man, you have to make all 6. I'm sorry, you're committed. I don't think you realize that you don't have a choice in the matter anymore. But seeing him in this trailer was just, yeah, fuck yeah. I love him in the books. Um, him and Miles Tagg and Gurney Halleck. I mean, yeah. So, if you haven't seen the trailer, go see it. Watch it. It's probably been viewed a few million times. I'll watch it again if I could on stream. Um, wow. Well, I was hoping to get to. Let's see what time is it. Well, I mean, Jesus, we're already 40 minutes in. Okay. Um, let me get over to these Spideys. This will, I guess, obviously have to be for another day, but one of my where does it say it? Oh, okay, yeah, right at the bottom. For repair restoration. I mean, I've got at least 6 posters in here. These are what my bread and butter would be if I had my way about it. Like, if I didn't have to worry about money, acquisition money, grant money. Jesus, people spend so much money on bullshit that nobody wants to watch. Like Starfleet Academy, like 10 million plus per episode of complete dog shit. But then there are posters that could just simply use $200 in restoration, and they're classics. I mean, on this list right off the bat, I've got one sheets. If how does this stuff? It's all circular. If you know the names, people. Darius Kanji. I just talked to him about him in my live stream last night. Sorry, I'm looking at my iPhone. I need to look at you. Darius Kanji has won in 3 nominations of an Oscar and 3 nominations of a César in France, where he's from. I think he's Iranian by birth. I don't remember. I'm sorry if I screwed that up, but those 2 films are just gorgeous. These obviously need stabilization. I don't even think they really need restoration. I think just no, not even paper loss. Fearless, Jet Li. It's an original Chinese one sheet. The artwork is bad to the bone. Ultra rare, country and year of origin. And the movie rocks if you haven't seen it. A Goodfellas single-sided one sheet. Just needs stabilization. Manhunter. And then finally, 30 by 40. Needs a little bath. Maybe some paper backing as opposed to linen. Man, that'll clean up good. And because it's a 30 by 40, you can't say all, but 90% of your 30 by 40 and 40 by 60s were rolled because they're this heavier cardstock paper, which means they hold up over time better, which means this baby will clean up perfectly. This was going to be one of my unrolleds, but I just kind of talked about it. So, but yeah, there's a million posters like this. I got a story about a freaking Revenge of the Jedi that I got off of Craigslist. Regardless of the price, which I paid was ridiculous, $300. The dude sent me in the tube that he sent it in. He sent the poster in the original tube from the Lucasfilm Star Wars fan club and had the initiation letter thanking them for joining. And here's your Revenge of the Jedi poster. So it's like 110% legit. I got it for $300. It's rolled, but it needs some work, man. It needs some linen backing, and holy shit. Um, and newest first, US, one sheet. Oh, good lord, come on. What are they calling this? Dated revenge style. Last one went for 1639, 1250, 1666, 1649, 16, 13. Don't know why this one went for under a grand, but I mean, you're starting to go back. I mean, shit, even 23, 20, $1,500. Saw 1950 in there. And these are the dated ones, not the undated. Those are ridiculous. Maybe one day on top of a birthday style poster. If you don't know what that is, Google it. Oh my God, those are rare. Anywho, I got mine for 300 shipped, and it came with verifiable authentication material with it. So just extreme vigilance. You can never stop looking, ever, ever. That's what makes me good at what I do. Because I see the shit, I know what its true value is. I know what its future value is. I was talking to one of these dudes who got a poster for the con, and we were talking about price, and I'm like, I mean, it didn't even dawn on me until we even started talking that this whole MegaCon thing is in direct scheduling coordination with the 25th anniversary re-release. I mean, they had, I don't know how long they've been planning this, like on the back end, the studios and the actors and everybody, but so I told him, I'm like, because I was going through. I mean, I'm going to do a. I could do. Maybe I will do. If my any of my six subscribers decide they want me to, I'll do a stack pull of just my fellowship material. It's fucking ridiculous. But I told him, I'm like, you know, this is all me. I don't do this to sell and to make money. And if you think this is expensive now, then let's see, in 2051, talk to me again when we hit the 50th anniversary. And then guess what you're going to pay then? So I can sit on this stuff. I'm in no rush to sell it. I mean, it just, people buy graded copies of Academy screeners for movies that maybe didn't even win a Best Picture. Who the fuck is paying $400 for that? $400 and digging. I got a Revenge of the Jedi worth probably $1,500 after restoration. Let's just say I dumped 500 into it. That's the that's your copy right there. And now I've got something worth triple. Sit on it for another 30 years. By then, Star Wars may be good again. Probably not. But you know, that works too, because this shit is the classic. Just saying in one of my posts. Teenagers of the 80s, man. We had Road Warrior, Escape from New York, Empire Strikes Back, Excalibur, Blade Runner, The Thing. Uh, I mean, all awesome movies. And you can invest today. I mean, I'm not even saying invest with me because I don't care. I don't care if I sell a single poster off this stream, thread, channel, whatever. It's not what it's about. But God, invest in something that's going to matter. You can give your kids. Um, like I almost envy Brad and his relationship with Oliver. I mean, he got him a Thing poster. Fucking awesome. Um, I mean, it's funny because I thought I sold my only copy, and that wasn't actually the case. I was moving some stuff up here, and a rolled copy was rolled. And oh yeah, Ten Commandments stuff never to do too. To do stuff. Roll. Put a roll poster inside another rolled poster. Roll them together if thankfully it hit carpet, got a little corner ding. My fault, yes, but I'll never do it again. um, but a rolled The Thing NSS version popped out. I'm just like, what the it's like winning the lottery. Every other day. Benefits of going senile, people. Every day you realize you have a new poster in your collection. Uh, anyway, but yeah, investing in good stuff, people. Classic titles. You don't have to spend $8,000 on some near mint perfect. Anyway, uh, Spider Man. Spider Man, Spider Man. Oh, I don't have to move that over. I'm going to just see real quick, and I'm sorry, bear with me. I'll try to maybe talk in the background while I'm trying to do this, but I'm not a multitasker tonight. Video capture device. I'm going to try and select my iPhone, and it's letting me. By the way, Ben, um, okay, that's interesting. I can see it in my OBS, but it's like really wackadoodle. Um, I mean, I could show you what I'm doing. It's kind of boring and very annoying, but that's not what I want either. I don't know how to use this the way I want to use it right now, so I'm not going to use it. Yes, remove. Okay, sorry, people. I'll try and work on that. Like I told Brad, man, it's not easy being a studio. You got to do everything. Okay, webcam is not going to happen. Let me try this. I'm sorry. Let me just try this one more time. Because if I can get it to work, it'll be bitching. Data source. Doop doop doo. And that just might be it. We'll have to see. Okay. So this is kind of working. Sorry. Now it's. Nope. Not even going to try it. So. What I'm going to do. Sorry, people. Viewers, I know this sucks. All right. So. Trying to get a little more forward here. Everything is always temporary, by the way, obviously. Get the technical glitches worked out. We'll be running, rocking, and rolling. So, what I want to start with was actually that variant for Spider-Man 1 I was talking about. Or did I mention that? So, sorry. Just want to get as much of the poster on the floor as I can, because what I want to do is actually put this one up, at least this one. And here again, this would be awesome because Dan's information in probably 30 seconds could tell me exactly what I want to know. Um, so, deal with this one is that it was never an official poster. I mean, it's double sided, right? Yeah, but it was supposedly uh, not released or whatever. It was a bootleg, whatever. So, what I want to do here tonight, and obviously one of the dreams when we're authenticating, I want to have a backlit table that has uh, rulers built into it so that you can go down to like the 16ths or the 32nds to measure a poster because that's what Dan did. But if that story that I recall is correct, then what I'd like to do is take what I know to be a guaranteed bona fide original and put it up right next to it and see if the size matches. Because that'd probably tell us a lot. Okay, well, yeah. I know it's slipping. I was gonna say it's definitively shorter, but man, and these glossy ones, they're just so slick. I really don't like gloss posters. Sometimes they're hard to display with glare. And it almost feels like they weigh more. I mean, that's good. Okay, so what's going on? I mean, man, it's like maybe an eighth. Yeah, it's about an eighth of an inch taller. Yeah, let's see width. I mean, it's Just a hair. But honestly, uh, the bootleg Green Goblin is actually, it looks like a 16th inch wider. So it's just a hair wider, just a hair shorter. I don't know. It's double sided. Again, with all things paper, patience. You rush things, not paying attention. A crease, man, even a crease is forever. I mean, here is the one true curse about double-sided one sheets. They cannot be linen backed. Even to this day, people have been trying for 20 years. Mixed results at best. Hey, Jason, what's up, MFer? Um, that's why one of my commandments, man, best condition. I type better with these on. Get the, I guess I don't. Get the beat condition. Best condition possible. Yeah, that's the thing that sucks about double-sided. They can't be linen backed. So any restoration is a flippin' nightmare. I asked one of my guys, I have 2 copies. It's on my desktop. Of course, it would have to come up tonight. Ex Machina, Appleseed 2. The B1s are rare AF. So my first copy, it had like a 1 inch from the corner diameter tear out of the corner, like upper right corner. Just always bummed me out. And because it's also a very glossy B1, just like these stupid ones are, just insanity. One of the most respected restorers I know said, well, you got a B2, go to a color copier, print off that corner large enough to match the corner that you're missing and use that and like tape it on. That was the best for a double-sided, and that was like 10 years ago. So best condition, man. That means like for the menu I mentioned earlier, if you can only get a beat up, kind of creased, edge worn copy, man, fucking get it. Buy it. I just bought a Tron Legacy poster today for $18. It's the style that, believe it or not, I don't have. There's a triptych that had 3 styles that put side by side form one big thing. And the center art for the main one sheet is almost identical, but it's not identical. Is it worth $18? Definitively. Is it worth $350? No. But I've got a copy now. I've got a copy. That's better than no copy. So, always get the best condition you can. Size matches almost perfectly. Published and distributed. Oh, shit. Okay. It's not the real deal. Holy shit. Sometimes a fine print will kill you. That's a zigzag poster. Jason, you probably already knew this. You're just gonna let me embarrass myself like that? Oh, by the way, Ben, this is vintage, bro. 84. It's not some repro bullshit. And it's mint. All right, moving on from my now. It's zigzag, so it means it was licensed. You know what, though? It's the only one we got of the Green Goblin. And it's double-sided, and it matches the Twin Towers Advance almost perfectly, size for size. It's glossy. It looks awesome. I don't give a shit if it's a zigzag license reprint. By the way, I don't think anybody's ever questioned it. But if anyone's interested, I went through like a nightmare of trying to brainstorm and troubleshoot a vacuum table. And don't get me wrong, the one that I have in mind is like next level shit. It involves vacuum pumps pulling through particle board. Because if you seal, sealant, glue, whatever off the um, the bottom of it and the sides, and you have channels built in underneath the vacuum pumps, and then you have particle board on top. It pulls through those channels through the particle board completely evenly, like down to the particle level, so it's a complete end-to-end seal. Obviously, doing that with folder posters poses a danger because that kind of suction, I wouldn't even attempt it before talking to somebody uh, on the conservator side about how you probably just want to like loosen the fibers before you do anything like that. But for a roll poster, especially ones that have significant curl, especially like a 40 by 60, those of you who followed the feed have seen my 40 by 60s. I love those things, but gosh darn, getting them flat corner to corner, edge to edge when they've been sitting rolled for 30 years, forget about it. You need like 5-pound weights on each corner. Uh, but, sorry, diverged a little. This thing I found from a Japanese seller. He's like, yeah, dude, it's a magnetic whiteboard. What are you, high? I said maybe, but um, Amazon, $69. It's like 36 by 40 something. So it's big enough to even handle British quads at 30 by 40. Granted, I have to put them in portrait when they're technically landscape, but then I just flip the image from 90 degrees. But so that $30 in magnets, and then that little $7 card so that I can do color correction on my 48 megapixel images. Uh, so if anyone wants to reproduce that, you can probably do it for $100 easy. And gloves, man. One of these days I'll figure out how to put links in the thingy. By the way, if you like what you see, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit the little bell thingy, and do all the stuff. All right, let's move on. So I don't know that I want to get to hanging each individual poster, but I'll just give you an idea. For those who were coming into last week thinking that I was going to give away a set of these, I only told like 2 or 3 people, but I get the disappointment. But when I got down there to pull these for the contest, I just, when I found what I had, well, I'll show you what I had. I just couldn't do it. Because I only have, God, if you know me, man, internationals, it's just like every stream it's going to come up. So there were 3 styles of teaser plus a 4th style, I think, underneath. Yeah, that's a teaser 2. I don't know if I have any final credits versions, but so the 3 main teasers, they did 3 styles, but internationally, they also put at the top. So it's going to be the same exact style. Nope, hang on. I thought I had them sorted differently. Give me a sec. All right. So this is why I couldn't give these up, because they're 2 distinct sets of 3. I thought I had multiple sets of the individual posters, but I don't. So unfortunately, these will never be sold. I haven't honestly ever tried to source a second set since 2000 whatever 4. So, but on these, we had Sacrifice. Okay, so these were the domestics. Okay, yeah, these are the domestics because when I hold this one up, you'll see same artwork. But this one's got, the this July instead of an actual date of June 30th, and it's missing Sacrifice. So you got that one. And I'm just going to show the US versions because then you'll get to see the tagline associated with each. Sacrifice, Destiny, and Choice. So, I mean, honestly, I hadn't pulled these. I haven't even thought about these in 2 decades. Um, Sorry, I have to have a drink. Oh, man, I swear to God. I start to realize why when I went to the David Geffen Theater in LA to see Tron last July, why I learned to appreciate why they allow no food and no drinks besides water. So one of my commandments, no open drinks anywhere near posters. Period, ever. Bottom line. You know anything about the nature of water and liquids? They get everywhere. Everywhere. That was a weak Gary Oldman. Anyway. So, tops, always. It's like a data center. If you've worked in a data center, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, by the time I get done with my commandments, I'll have a pretty kick-ass list of basic rules for collectors. And trust me, most of these have not been learned. I'm sorry, I keep looking over here at my screens. through painful firsthand experience. I've stepped on posters. Oh my God. Your heart just drops. I mean, I can't imagine what dropping a kid would be like because I don't have kids, but well, it wouldn't be that serious. Jesus. It's just a poster. And anyone who has played Cyberpunk, specifically Phantom Liberty, and you've made it to at least one of the endings, and you sat through and you listened to the song, you know, it's kind of funny because there's very few single epiphanies in your life. At least I don't think so. But the lyrics on this one song, granted, it was like the seventh time I finished Phantom Liberty. I'm addicted to that game, but in the song by oh god, I can't remember his name. He's done all kinds of sci-fi and other games. I think I mentioned him last stream, but one of the lines in the lyrics is all treasures will be lost. And it made me think about literally like King Tut and his tomb. And yeah, it was buried for 1,000 years, thousands of years. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's like at this point, it's got to be about legacy because nobody's ever going to print these again. Um, and they deserve to be enjoyed by everybody. But getting a little kind of choked up. But it's true, you know. I mean, eventually, if you think about it, it's not going to be in our lifetime. But the sun will expand to a point where it envelops the orbit of the Earth. Think about that. No more movie posters. I'm sorry if that was a depressing thought. All right, this is the last Spidey I have for the night. Again, I really hate these glossy ass posters. They look like they would be cool, but they're really not. Um, so this one's pretty rad. I mean, obviously, it's got Doc Ock there in the eye. I'm honing my weatherman skills. Not well. I will say this as a drummer, Ben, you'll appreciate this. I'm starting to try and do more left hand dominant sticking. Uh, man, it's fucking tough. I can only imagine what learning to write ambidextrously would be like. So, let me get these kind of situated, and then we're going to do Unrolled, because I have been waiting for that all week. Man, it's funny. I said in my live stream for my stack poll last night that, hang on. Man, sometimes posters just do not want to cooperate. And if you've handled them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Rolled are sometimes great because it's a lot easier to roll them up. But when you've got them flat, edges become a big deal. So I've learned that I'll start to really love these folders I got again. I probably have the original email for the order someplace in my Gmail. These are obviously 30 by 42 maybe. So perfect enough for even British quads without having edges stick out. All right. Oh, and for those who don't know, I will eventually one day figure it out, but I want to weigh and get an average of what a poster weighs because I swear my Matrix collection, yeah, it fits in one of these folders, but it's literally like 2 inches thick, inch and a half thick. It's probably at least. Jason, give me an estimate. What's an inch of posters, man? 4 ounces per? I mean, 10, say 100, 400 ounces. Anyway, freaking heavy, man. Just for Matrix, the only 3 films they ever made. Took me like 10 minutes and 5 piles. And those were heavy piles. That's why I said that's a whole episode, man. Okay, so Jason, you're the only other person in the chat. Give me a number. 1 to 77. It can't be 77, 23, or 33. Yes, I'm old school. I use text edit. Ha, nice. Well, in that case, it's going to technically be an envelope or a box. Oh man, what kind of paper would they use? Varying. Depends on literally I don't know what the actual definition of era is. Maybe it's defined by the subject contextually. But, I mean, even double-sided stuff. I don't know, man. Is glossy? I think maybe they do a print and then they do almost like a clear coat of gloss on top of it. Maybe you know, Jason. Um, but like older paper from the 60s, 70s, 50s, I mean, it's definitely aged. It's more brittle. Um, I don't know what kind of paper stock per se, because I'm not a paper stock expert, but it's varied over the decades. So let me get number 1 and 23. This would be a great time to put on like music if I had some, but licensing it, I don't even know how that works. Oh, that's my bad, Jason. Number 1 is actually number 77. So do you want 77? Yeah, 1, I thought it was 77. 1 is that, I don't know if you're here in the chat yet, Jay, but that's my Lord of the Rings French Grand set of 10. I know what's in them. But, I mean, why open them and pull them out just to put them back in? Keep them in there. Okay. Obviously, you wanted to go first or last. I forgot that 77 was the original tally, and then I pulled out 3 imposter tubes that had nothing in them. So that brought down to 73. And there was another one that I lost, but another one that I added. So anyway, I only went up to 72. So we're doing 72. Give me a thumbs up if that's cool. Wow. Okay. Utensil. Leathermans are great. Use it just about every day. Again, patience, especially opening stuff. No. You didn't know how good or bad this saint or asshole packed this thing. I mean, I know do not bend, fragile. There's cardboard in there, so it's a pretty good job. But he taped up everything like a vault, so I can't see inside to know what I'm. Okay, so good job. Because it's also, yeah, we're good there. By the way, this was September 25. So this isn't that old. Well, we don't know how old the poster is. But I honestly don't remember what I ordered last September. That was folded. I don't get folded stuff that often. Yeah, this is like freaking Christmas. Oh my God! I just ripped up an original Casablanca. 92, but fuck, man. 02, 12, 22. This poster was 34 years old. And he used it to fucking wrap another poster in it. It's just. It makes me sad. I'm going to have to look that one up. Not to see what it's worth, but to see what the artwork looked like. See, this is another reason I hate this kind of packer. Thought it was going good. But then there's no good open seal. So I'm basically trying to cut in to this without. Just want to get enough going. See what I'm looking at. See, I mean, yeah, caution. Warranted, because he's packed it inside of another. I mean, yeah. Thank you. For making this a 10-minute open. It is what it is. I mean, oh, of course. Just slid out. Okay, now he's got it. 1, 2, 3, 4. No open end. So once again, all right. I think we're there. All right. Name a movie that I didn't say when I was talking about how awesome it was to grow up in the 80s as a film goer teenager who all he wanted to do was spend disposable money on video games. And I'm talking per 25-cent play. Not, well, eventually it was Nintendo, but not in the early days, man. But one of the films I failed to mention, it's just epic. And I'm not doing this on purpose. It's a little bit of a tease. I mean, we are talking about one of the greatest sci-fi films ever made. Let's not bullshit around the fact that current Star Trek writers and executives could learn a fucking thing or two from Star Trek 2. Jesus H. Christ, man. This was it. This is peak. Well, it's not complete peak, but cinematically, filmic, film releases, theatrical film releases, man. You get Next Gen, First Contact. It's a close second, maybe. There is no close second to this. And I'm not even talking about that J.J. Abrams bullshit. Let's swap him and Kirk dies, but then he doesn't die. Fuck you twice. Sorry. Rant over. I mean, awesome. Awesome poster. Guess what version is the one to have? Jason, I'll give you seconds to come up with one. Which one that I've been looking for 3 years since I found out existed. And this is the thing about posters, man. You got to be careful about even getting into it, because once you get into it and you find your niche, no, it's not the one I'm thinking about, dude. I mean, you know me. And you know what? I was talking, well, if you weren't early in the feed enough, I talked about Dan quite a bit. Um, you know it's Dan, but he loves the international shit because he lives in Canada and he could get English speaking through English speaking international material. So it's the international style. I want this so bad. I missed it over on eMovie like a year ago. And then, oh, I still got the window way up. Was it UK? Yep, this is it. And I want to roll one. I mean, that's just awesome. I can't even remember who did the art on this. Do you know? Oh, Peak, you just told me. It's Bob, right? Bob Peak? I'll look it up. Yep, Bob Peak. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, Vengeance. We all know what temperature Vengeance is served at. Okay, so awesome pull. I love Star Trek too, man. I just watched it 4K like 6 months ago. Watch it again tonight. Numéro 23. 23. Let's see here. I hate that sometimes. Okay. I think this is from 2011. No. What's with all the recent year polls, man? I want one of these that's like 10 years old. So, date on this one says February 28th of 25. Oh, by the way, earlier I was talking about links, and eventually I'll figure out how to put links in the description in order to, and eventually, I mean, I could probably just give a set away every stream. But a box of these gloves is it's like $10. Completely worth it. Completely worth it. Gloves. I know some will argue with me on this point. It's funny, man, because I watch some of these restorer videos on YouTube, and they handle these posters like shit. Not all of them. I'm not calling everybody out, but you know who you are. Obviously, when you're open and you don't need to keep your gloves on. Okay. It's funny. I just talked. God, man, it's just if you watch my Stackpool, I talked about these dealers, these purveyors of fine theatrical vintage wind sheets. Movie posters. Oh, no. Okay, no. I thought this was movieposters.com. And I was going to rag on them again because they totally deserve it. I mean, just for shits and giggles. I mean, you have to go to their section called Originals just to be sure you're maybe looking at an original. Fuck that. If you're going to sell reprints, sell it in a tab that's called Reproductions. And then, when you do, yeah, 500 every day of the week. Guess what? E-movie poster, every 3 months they have one of these up. And you can get them for $200 to $300. In shitification, people. Every level. I'm going to rant for 2 seconds, but a truck driver went to a Walmart, and I guess he knows weight pretty well. Live stream, no cuts. Went to Sporting Goods, grabbed a 2-pound weight, took it to the digital scale in produce, 2.02 pounds. He took out 4 ham roasts. The best offender was overpriced by about 40%. The worst one was over 50%, or no, it was at 100%. Because the sticker said it was 5.45 pounds, and it came up as like 2.3. So you're essentially paying double for no good reason. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I hate all that shit, but that's just outright fraud. Okay. Not every poster. And this is where collecting, you got to take your punches. You got to take your licks, okay? This is a perfect fucking example. Swear to Christ. This is a movie that in my head, I call it my MCU. Or no. I call it my cinematic universe. So it's my MCU. This film only had 4 parts. By the way, I know I'm running long. I was going to try and keep this to an hour, but I'm just having too much goddamn fun. I could open 20 of these. All right. So I was as hyped for this as the next guy. It's not a Shin Godzilla. I wouldn't be bad-mouthing Shin Godzilla, Jason. No way would I be bad-mouthing Shin Godzilla as a poster I wouldn't want to have. That's kind of ridiculous. That's funny. I'm sorry. That's just funny. Because you're thinking because I said 4. First one kicked everyone's ass. Second one just up the stakes, turned it up to 11. I love 2. 3, sharp decline. 4, a run-on sentence. I'll be honest. So by the time 4 came to a definitive end for the series, when it should have been 3. Gosh darn it. It's funny I say gosh darn it here, but I've been cussing all stream. Yeah, my mom hates it. But what the fuck is a guy to do? All right, so another lead into this. If you saw what came after Skyfall and Spectre, No Time to Die. Because of her turn in that, I was rock hard for this. You know what I'm talking about. But what a fucking disappointment. I mean, I thought this is an inverse roll, and F the printers who do this. Jason, do you know, do they have an option to roll these the right flipping way when these come off the printing line? Because I hate inverted rolls. Because then you got to weigh the shit down. They never want to cooperate. All they want to do is be a pain in your ass. Until after a year under weighted flat rolls, they eventually learn. All right, so obviously you know what I'm talking about now. Let me blow this up. So Anna de Armas, man, oh God. If I ever make it in Hollywood, man, if I could even have one shot. I mean, okay, so I just looked up the word archetype. Definition is, well, a typical example, but of a certain person or thing. In this case, Anna, she's like one of my prime archetypes, man. She's smoking, which makes it all the more disappointing because even though she wasn't actiony in Blade Runner 2049, I thought. By the way, I don't even have these hooked up. I've had him in for an hour and a half. I thought, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Keanu Reeves, John Wick preparation. The dude is okay. The guy is older than I am by 5 years, and he could kick. He almost beat Chuck Norris one-on-one. Let's just say that after preparing for John Wick. He put in so much time that he was setting records on the ranges with like 3-gun proficiency, handgun, rifle, shotgun. Insane levels of preparation because he did his own stunts in those films most of the time, if he could. And he trained with them. You hear the interviews with the trainers. He was never late, always kind, trained harder than anybody else in the room. So, man, I thought, yeah, seeing her in Bond with Daniel Craig, I thought, fuck, man, this is going to be awesome. She's going to come into this and just smoke everybody. And then not only was the story ass, but it's like one close up, then back out to a wide shot of a stunt female doing all her shit. It was just disappointing. So yeah, great teaser poster. I mean, there's fans of the film. It won't be a loss. Uh, it's not one that I particularly archive. In fact, I'll never watch it again. Why would I waste 2 hours? She didn't bring her A game to the part. It could have made 100% of difference to make up for a shitty script, which it was. I mean, she's a newbie assassin at the beginning of the film. By the time she comes out, she's like, ooh, hey, I'm John Wick, who comes in as a cameo. He's like, she's not bad. She's got potential. I'm Keanu Reeves. I'm John Wick. It didn't sell it, man. Just disappointed. Another enshittification. Let's just get away with the basic minimum. And I will be honest, it's partially my fault because it wasn't directed by the dudes. It wasn't directed by... Come on, give me the goddamn director. Chad Stelsky, Chad. He was like a stunt coordinator, and then obviously, everyone knows the story of John Wick, how that came together. I mean, again, what was the fucking budget on this, man? $20 to $30 million. It wasn't even that long ago, 2014. Let's just say it topped out at 30 million. It still made 86. It made its money back. It made its marketing back. It made a little extra cash, and it was a cult hit. It rocked. It was action done right by people who know how to do action right. What's so fucking difficult about this, people? Hollywood, get your shit together. Stop complaining about everything. Entertain us. That's what we want. We don't want to hear your politics and all your bullshit. We want to watch good movies like John Wick 1, and then 2, and then 3 and 4. Ooh, we're in Tokyo. Great. You got some great actors. You're always going to have great actors, but this? No. Okay. Let's wrap this up. I'm sorry. I could do this every day of the week, and I'd still never run out of things to talk about. But since this is the actual weekly stream, well, we bumped up to 3 concurrent viewers tonight. I didn't even top the 5 that I had last week. That's fun. Giveaways. Yeah. Where are my screenshotties? There we go. All right, so all right. So this one's kind of hard to see. We'll start here. nobody gets it, that's fine. This is a difficult one. I tried to get a close up, but it's almost like it got too close. But I'll put it in chat what that says. And the winner only needs to tell me either what film this is from or what film this references. Either answer will win you a 4K code tonight. We'll give it, 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes maybe. It's kind of wild. That was off of a 4K disc, the new 4K transfer, and then I zoomed in with my camera, and it got all these funky patterns. You got it, Jason. I mean, that was almost easy. Too easy. It's one of my favorite little Easter eggs of the. Okay, cool. We'll use that for somebody else down the line another week. Thanks. Thank you, sir. Um, so, yeah, this is from Kill Bill. This is when she comes out on the balcony at the beginning of Volume 2, when she's explaining the El Paso Wedding Chapel Massacre. I think that's what it's called. And the story changes depending on who's telling the story. But in the background, I had to zoom way in to get that one. Okay, let's go on here. I guess this is just between you two, so I got 7 of these. Maybe we'll just do 2 or 3. I'll give Ben a hint. I saw this when I was in California out there for First Data. No, oh, yeah, you got it again. All right. Well, Jason, your days of that are over because I'm going right down to an area I think you're short on, which is anime. Although, this is a fun one. This is funny. This is actually a still from a live action film. Oh, I love this film. I mean, if I put anything in there, it's going to give it away. Ah, you got it. Cute and fuzzy bunnies. Oh, I love the cute and fuzzy bunnies, man. A Savage Steve Holland film. Gotta love it. All right, you might then just go ahead and get this next one. I'll do one more. Now, this is a little zoomed in, and then the actual image is more, landscape. I don't know if I can. Ugh. What? Man, why does Apple just do this kind of shit sometimes? What? Oh, photos quit unexpectedly. Thank you. All right. Anyway, so it's more at an angle, but the angle anyway, it's a mech suit. I love mech suits. I love power armor, especially when they're encapsulated like this. So in this particular film, they go underwater with these suits, which is badass. Never see that in film. I'm just gonna do this. I'll do a combo. You either get one of these two, and you get it. This is my other one. If you know me, you know this is one of my top animated films. I love this film, and I know. Nope. I know for a fact that both Jean Favreau, who directed Iron Man 1, and did he do 2? And then um, James Cameron have also seen this film. Guaranteed. Yep, you got it, Jason. That's Appleseed. That's Dune Newt. She's getting into a land mate for the first time. God, the scene is gorgeous, especially on the new Blu-ray release. It'll probably never get a 4K because stupids. But they did release a new Blu-ray like back in September that I took this from. It's just gorgeous. Yeah, this mech scene is awesome. This, by the way, is which probably not a lot of people seen. Um, yeah, I'd take one of these suits. Fuck yeah. I want one of these or one of the landmates from Appleseed, and I want a light cycle. I don't want much. Just those couple of things. Not asking for a lot. All right. So Jason, if you really want one, one or a few, just let me know offline. Uh, oh, is it because it's more than half off the screen? All right. Why? Okay. I'm unsure what's happening. I'm looking at my output and I see me live, but I don't see the screen capture correctly anymore. That's bizarre because Dune's not up on the screen anymore. Uh, well, that's a good place to end it then. I don't know what happened with OBS. I think my stream is still going out and the video is live from the webcam, but let me just try and delete it and re-add it. Okay. That's back. But now my preview wasn't. But regardless. Um, Jules, hey Jason, take it easy, man. Have a good night. Jules, you're picked if you're still on. If not, I can ping you later. Yeah, I mean, we've been at it for 2 hours and 9 minutes. So I really want to thank you for watching. If you're watching this offline, uh, obviously I know who joined, but if you just tune in for the first time, hey, this is what we're all about. I rant sometimes, but I also have a ton of good info about vintage movie posters that a lot of people don't know about. Getting the info out there. All right. Everyone, have a great night, great week, great life. Take care.